So in advanced SQL, mainly we have to study about functions, procedures, triggers, etc. First, we are concentrating on functions and procedures. What is the meaning of a function and procedure? Actually, functions and procedures are subprograms which can be created and written or stored inside a database as database objects. We can call it from any other blocks also, and usually they allows, that is the functions and procedures will allow the business logic which is to be stored inside a database and which can be executed inside an SQL statement. So if you are going to study, before explaining the function and procedure, we have to use certain terminologies which are used in PLSQL subprograms. That is, in function and in procedure, certain terminologies are most commonly used one. So now we are going to study the most important terminologies that may come in a procedure or a function. The first one is called parameter. What is a parameter? So we already know the parameter in the case of high level language. Parameter is normally a value or it is a placeholder. It is a variable. And if you are using any parameter, if we are using the concept of parameters in a function or a procedure, it can be any type. We know that a variable can be any valid type. So that is also applicable in PLSQL also. If you are using any parameter in a functional procedure, it can be of any valid PLSQL type, like numeric type, or like we already studied different data types which are used in SQL or Oracle. So the parameter should be in any valid PLSQL type. And the main aim of the parameters are used to it's to exchange values between a calling program and a called program. That is, if you are using a parameter in the case of a function, the main use of parameter is the function need, in some cases the function may take value from the outside world, that means from the calling program, and in some cases it may pass the function after or you doing all the operation, the function may return value to the calling program. So there exists an exchange of information between the calling program and the function, from between the function and the calling program. So for that purpose we are using the term parameters. And if you are using any parameters at the time of declaring a function or a procedure, the data type and details of the parameter should be specified. For example, if a function is returning using any kind of parameters, first of all we have to write what is the type of the parameter and some other details about the parameter. So we will study which are the other details we have to specify whenever we are declaring a function like that. So these terms, this parameter is a term which comes in the it's a terminology that may be used in a procedure or a function. So I said, what is the meaning of a parameter? It is a placeholder or it is a variable, and it can be of any valid PLSQL data type. Main aim of the parameter is to exchange values between the main code and the subprogram. In some cases the parameter, the function procedure may take values from the outside program or the main program, which is also called the calling program, and in some case after doing the operation the function may need to pass the parameters, pass the return, the result to the calling program. So in that case the need of parameter is very essential. One main characteristic of using parameter is that if the function or procedure is using any parameter, first of all we have to declare or we have to define the type, the style, that is the mode, the name of the parameters at the time of creation. There are three types of parameters are there. The parameter can be of if it is, it's more, these are called modes of parameters. It can be worked as an in parameter, out parameter, and in out parameter. So what is the meaning of in parameter? Normal default case is in parameter. If you are not specifying any other details about the parameter, it will be taken as default values in parameter. So what is the meaning of an in parameter? In parameter means that the subprogram, meaning of the parameter is that the subprogram takes value, or we are inputting values to a subprogram. That is, if you are using a parameter as in, that means that that subprogram gets a value as input, or input value from other block using through that variable. So that is the meaning of an in parameter. That is, giving this parameter is used for giving input to a subprogram, and it is read only one. The variable will be, if you are using an, if you are going to declare any parameter as in parameter, then that particular value will be taken from the main program or any other block to the subprogram, and the variable which is used in that subprogram will be read only one. That is, we cannot make changes to that particular variable inside the subprogram. That means value cannot be changed. Okay. Then default, as I said, default value is an in parameter. So in means its short form is input parameter, inputting value to the subprogram. That particular, if you are declaring a parameter as in parameter, that will be read only one. That means we cannot make any changes inside the function. The second one is called out parameter. That is the opposite of the in parameter. Out parameter means that the particular subprogram is outputting, or it is giving some value to the calling program, and in order to specify that, we have to declare the parameter as an out parameter. So it is a read-write variable. That means that inside the program, inside the subprogram, that parameter can be manipulated, or its value can be changed. Next is in out parameter. That is a combination of in and out. That is, it is mainly used, it can be used for giving input to a subprogram, and the same parameter can be used for giving output from the subprogram. So it will be read, and we can read and write that particular variable inside the subprograms. So this is the first terminology that we are using in subprogram, PL/SQL subprograms. The subprogram can be either procedure or a function. So certain terms are used in, it's a part of this block, and some terms are used in any particular subprogram. So first you understand that PL/SQL subprograms are mainly functions or procedures. And here we are going to study certain terminology or certain terms which are used in this PL/SQL subprogram. The first one is OVA, that is, what is a parameter, what are the three types of parameters, what is the meaning of each type, and what is the default parameter type. Next one is return. We already studied the return keyword in high level language. For the same purpose, we are using a return keyword. Return keyword is used in order to change, or in order to return the control from a calling program or a subprogram to a called program or to a main program. So if there exists any code after the return statement, that will be skipped. And one main point is that in the case of a function, always a function should return a value. So that is the main comparison between a function and procedure. A function should return a value to a calling program. So return statement is must there. Then we are going to study in detail about a function. What is a function? So as I said, a function is a standalone PL/SQL subprogram. Every function will have a unique name, and which is used to refer that particular function. A function is stored as an object in database. It is stored in PL/SQL as database object. And since it is a standalone block, normally the functions are mainly used for calculation purpose. And a function should return some value. It can be either return a value, or it must raise an exception. So return statement is mandatory in the case of a function. So if the function is, since a function should return a value, the type of return, that is the return type of that particular value, should be defined at the time of function declaration. If you're taking a function, normally a function has three parts. The first part is called the declaration part, the second part is called the execution part, and the third part is called the exception handling part. Here the first and the last one, that is the declaration part and the exception handling part, are optional one. We can write a function inside another function, that is nested functioning. That is, we can write a function inside another block or packages. And we know that, as we said, the parameters are used to exchange values between a calling program and a function, and it can be of different type. The parameter can be of int type, that is three modes are there. Int type means we can only input value to a function using that parameter. Out parameter means we can take value from a function using out parameter, and the third one is in out parameter. Since all the functions should return a value, there should be out parameter. The functions should return a value, out parameters are used. So if you want to create a function, the command which is used for creating a function is create function statement. So this is the syntax of a create function. If you want to create a function, first you have to write the keyword create, or in some case replace. That means create, if you are creating a function for the first time, create we have to use. If you are making, suppose if you already created a function and if you want to make any modification, replace keyword should be used. So create or replace, after that you use the keyword function, then you can give the name of the function name. And next one is, you can if any parameters are used by the function, which is an optional one, you have to write the name of the parameter. That is why we are writing in square bracket. Square bracket indicates that that particular part is optional one. So if any parameters you want to define, that after creating the after create statement, you can write the parameter details. So actually 3 points you have to write in a parameter details. First is the name of the parameter, second one is the mode of the parameter, and next the type of the parameter. So if any one or more parameters are there, you have to repeat the same steps in the same manner. So that is why we are writing comma. If second parameter we have to write, we have to repeat the same method. Okay. So parameter name you will specify. Then we can specify the mode. If you are not specifying any mode, that means it will be taken as input parameter. Okay. Then after that you have to specify the type. So this is the style of writing the parameters. Then next one is return. I said that always a function should return a value, and the type of returning value should be defined at the time of function definition. So you have to write return, then you have to specify what type of return value is returned by the function. Then we can write is or as. So if it is if you are going to create a new function, you will use is. If you are going to replace an existing function, you can use as. Okay, so that is or as you can specify based on the create or replace command. After that, you can write the function executable statement inside the function, that is the body of the function, in between begin and end statement. After end, optionally you can specify the function name. So this will be the function body is the actual statements that will be executed whenever you are calling a function. So this is the overall syntax of a function. So create or replace, function, function name. If you are using any parameter, you have to specify the 3 details of the parameters, like parameter name, mode, which is the optional one, default one is in parameter, then type. If for the second parameter, the same point you have to repeat. Then since every function should return a value, the return type of the return statement, return type of the function should be specified along with the return keyword, return, the return type, return data type. Then you can write is or as based on create or modify, create or replace keyword. Then we can write the body of the function within the begin and end statement. And it will be good if you are specifying the name of the name of the function along with the end statement. So I will give you one small example, and this example is based on this table. Suppose this is a customer table, and these are the values stored inside the table. Suppose 5 columns attributes are there about the customers, including ID of the customer, then name of the customer, age of the customer, address of the customer, and salary of the customer. Now I will write a program, and the aim of the program is to find out the total number of tuples inside the table. That is, we just want to count how many rows are there inside this table. Okay, we know the output as it is six rows are there in this table. So we can find out using a function. So for that purpose, I am creating a function. And first of all, first statement is create or replace. Then I am specifying the keyword function, and the name of the function is total customers. That is, since I am going to find out the total how many customer details are there inside the table, I am using the term total customers. That is the name of my function. And after that, if any parameters are used, you can, which is an optional one. Here I am not using any parameters inside the function. So I am skipping that statements. That is, I am skipping this statement. I am just going to the third statement. That is, I need to specify the return data type of the function. For that purpose, we have to write return keyword. Then what is the return? Suppose that this function will return the total number of customers inside the table. That means total number of rows inside the table. We know that the total number is normally a numeric type, so I am taking number. Okay, so number is the return type of this function. Is. Then what is the next statement? The next statement is you can write the inside the begin and end, you can write the code. So if any parameters, if any variables are used inside the function, you have to declare just before the begin function. So here I am using the total as a variable which is of number type, and I am initializing it into 0. So this is a normal manner how you are declaring a variable in C. So only difference is that this is the style of writing the function details. After that, you have to specify, along with the return statement, you have to specify the return type of this function. And since it is a create function, I will use is. Then if you are declaring any variables, if you are using any variables inside this is not a parameter, this is a variable which is used inside the function. So name of the variable is total, its type is numeric, and I am declaring it as 0. Then I am coming to the body of the statement. So inside the begin and end, I will write the code. So what is the aim of this function? In order to find out the total number of rows inside the table. So we know that count is an aggregate function which will give you the total number of rows inside the table. So for that purpose, you can write a query for calculating the total number of rows. Here the name of the table is customers table. So I will write a query, select count of star into total from customer. So what is the meaning of that? The count of star will be calculated. That is, its value is a numeric value which is stored as the parameter total. So its value will be there in total variable from customers. So after writing this statement, if there is no other statements are there, you have to write a return command. Return statement is needed. As I said, every function should return a value. So what function should be returned by this function? This total value will be returned. Okay. So the type of the total is numeric type. This is the end of the function. So this is how to write a function. Create or replace function. Its name is total customers. Then if I am not using any parameters, return number is, that is the return type of this function is number, and I am using a variable inside the function, so I have to declare the variable. And after that, I will write the begin end statement. The body of the function will be written, and inside that I will write the command in order to take the count of the customer table, and that will be stored inside the total variable. So now I will come to the main program. This is my main program. So you can call it as an anonymous block. So inside anonymous block, I am declaring one variable. So always one point you have to remember is that since every function returns a value, there should be some variable which should receive the value from a function. So I'm declaring a variable which is called C as a numeric value in order to receive the output of this function. Then I will start the begin statement and I will take the value of the function inside C. So C is equal to total customers. This is same as that of writing a program in C. So total customers, this function will be called, the control will go to that function, its output will be evaluated, the output is stored inside C. So for that purpose I have declared a variable inside my main program. Then if you want to print out something inside the main program, we will use this function dbms output.putLine. Then inside that we can write the message total number of customers is equal to, you write a pipe symbol and then you can write this C variable. So if you are executing this program, you will get the total number of customers is equal to 6. So I will show you one example of function. Suppose I have created a table which is called instructor. So normally, in the normal manner, a SQL statement which is used to create table statement is used to create an instructor command. And suppose that I have already inserted 2 rows to this table using insert command. Then I am starting a function. You can see create function. So if it is replace, you can write replace function. That means if you are modifying an existing function. Here I am going to create a function. Create function total. Total customers I just took. It is total instructors. Total instructors. Then I am writing return type, that is the return type of this function is a number numeric value. So number is the data type is. So I am using a variable inside the function. So I am declaring that variable, its type, this is the default value. So after that I'm writing this body of the function. So inside the body of the function I just want to find out the total number of customers in instructor table. So I need to use count star aggregate function which will give you the output of total number of customers inside the table. So I have to, every function should return a value, so I have to write a return command and I will specify the value, that is the variable will give you the value. This is actually past the calling function. So that's all about the function name. So after writing the function, you can run it, you can run that function. So I will run the function. So function created. So it is a standard alone one. So after writing, first of all you write a function, then you try to execute the function alone. So if there exists no errors, then function created message will be, you will get a function created message. One important point here is some kind one error that may arise when you are writing equal to symbol is you have to write colon equal to. You cannot use equal to here. So that is one error I got. Then after that I am writing the main program. So it is an anonymous block. I am writing declare statement. Then I am declaring. T is the variable I am used here, which is a numeric type variable, and I am writing the begin statement. Here I'm using the name to total instructors. That is the name. I changed by name of the function. So I'm just changing here also. Total customers. Instead of customers, I am writing total instructors. Then I am printing. This is the line which is used to print the output. dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. In bracket you can, in single quote you can write whatever message you want, you are expecting. And in C we will use comma symbol, but here we have used two pipe symbol. So that means we will get the output total instructors is equal to the value of T. So after that you run this one also. The declare statement also you execute it. Then here you just check what output you are getting. You will get the final output here. Statement processed. Total instructors is equal to 2. I said 2 rows were there inside the table. That is why you got the output as 2. So remember, first you write the Maybe you already created a function, but in the case of live SQL, each time you have to either you take it from your script, or you have to write the code for creating a table. Then you can insert the table based on my example. I am explaining, insert values to the table. Then we can you can write the create function command. Okay, that is, you are going to create a function, its name. If no parameters are used, since no parameters are taken by this function, so I am not there specifying any parameter. Then return type, return, the return type is the variable I am using in this function, the body of the function, the returning value is total. I am executing this command. After that, I am writing the main program, declaring variables inside the main program. If you are using declare keyword, then you can specify the variables here. Then inside the body of the main program, you can take values from the parameter and you can assign to the variable declare inside the main program. Then you can print the output in your required format. That's all. So this is about the program, which is called it's a simple program. It's an example of a simple program. So this is based on different, and if you are writing in SQL, you may be getting the output like this. So it depends on in which Oracle or in which live SQL you are using, its value, its output style changes. That's all. And this is another example. In this example, this is used to find out the maximum and minimum among two values. So here, first of all, I am declaring three variables. Either you can declare here or declare after the function. That's okay. So here I am declaring three variables, and after that I am writing the function name. So you can write the parameters and everything. So it's an example. So I will show this one.